Hey Jim, great to be able to speak to you once again. It is lovely conditions here at the SCG and we're all set for a brilliant day three. Yes, there was a bit of niggle yesterday. Look, I think it's actually been quite a nice series on both sides. I think both teams have actually complimented each other quite a lot in press conferences and as we've gone throughout, and I just don't think it has been that feisty at all. So to see a little bit of niggle there from the captain, I think it was the frustration coming out. And he got under Ben Stokes' skin, Marnus, Labuschagne, and Travis Head as well, complaining about the light and the conditions, and then obviously hitting the ball for a couple of fours. But look, I think that what we're hearing is that it was all done on the field with the umpires. The match referee probably won't take this any further. It was one of those touch and go situations. I think you've got to understand where you cross the line on the field of play, and when you're starting to put arms around shoulders, that's when I think the umpires probably need to step in. But I think they were able to do that, and I think Ben Stokes, across the course of his career, we know that he can that rage can really be sparked quite quickly. He's got a short fuse, but look, I think he's learned a lot over the last 10 years or so, and when he gets into those moments, he's very quick to try and step out of it and just simmer down again. So look, I think it was close, but I don't think it was bad enough for him to receive any demerit points. Look, I think the frustration again comes from the fact that he's scoring a century when the series is done, and he will feel that too, but also he's carried this for such a long time. He's been able to score centuries everywhere else around the world, but not here in Australia. So to be able to do it twice on this tour will be a massive tick for him personally. I think he wouldn't have wanted to finish his career without being able to contribute to the team and win an Ashes here. So I think that, more than anything, is probably what he's more disappointed about. But the fact that he was able to score a century here and we got to see him at his very best, I think that would have given him a nice bit of positivity at the end of what has been such a difficult tour for the team. So just that, I guess, that roadmap and that blueprint of how to play in these conditions as well. I know there wasn't as much bounce at the start of his innings on day one, but on day two, certainly, it was going up and down. It was a lot trickier to bat in those conditions. There was a bit of seam movement, and I thought he handled it beautifully. It was just Joe Root, uncomplicated. He was able to take on the short ball really well, but also handle, that channel line, which has been so much of a problem for him in this series. So I think in that respect, he'll be absolutely delighted with that century, and there's no doubt he is up there with the greats. All I had ringing in my ears in that exact moment when I was trying to commentate was Sunil Gavaskar going, stupid, stupid, stupid. When it came to Rishabh Pant and some of the innings that he played last season. So, look, it's a frustration. Again, I've used that word 3 times in this chat already, because England have the ability to, when they're on top, really squeeze that moment and really put their foot on the throat of the opposition. They just haven't been able to do that. England were in a great position. Australia managed to come back in with a couple of quick wickets, the wicket of Ben Stokes as well, and then that partnership formed between Jamie Smith and Joe Root, and they were just getting themselves back into the game, eyeing 400 plus on this pitch. Marnus Labuschagne, on just before the break, he's on to try and take a wicket, or he's basically hoping for a wicket, and Jamie Smith has just offered it up to him on a plate. A late Christmas present. When we saw it all unfold, it really was put your hand on your head moment, because he does have so much promise, he has so much talent, but a bit like Harry Brook, that they seem to do something really silly when they're in a really great position. So I think he would have hopefully have had a speaking to because what it did do was, you're going into a break on the other side. The second new ball was available for Mitch Starc to be able to open the door even more from an Australian point of view. And so you're looking at the situational test cricket, and that's where England have really fallen short throughout this series. Well, just like we've seen throughout the whole tour, when the expectation is not with England, that's when they seem to come out and do well. And so, look, it's getting late on in the tour. There's going to be a lot of tired bodies, a lot of physically tired, but also mentally tired men out there, and I think what Ben Stokes has got to do is just try and rally them once again. It's one final push from this team. And him with the ball, I think, is going to be the most potent threat. Bryden Cast, we know he can bowl well. He just didn't quite get it right yesterday. Josh Tongue as well, I think he can be a threat. So if they can put it all together, then I think they absolutely still have a chance in this match. But at the moment, they've kind of let it slip away again. Travis Head in the 90s and eyeing up another Test century. I just don't think they got it right to him early on. They didn't bowl full enough, consistently enough. Yes, he does have that ability to intimidate bowlers and throw them off their length, but far too often we've seen them bowl too short to him. And I think sometimes you just need to look at with Travis Head, I think there's a few different methods of operation when they're trying to get him out. I think they need to have one clear plan and really stick to it.